Hello! Today I wanted to talk about starting base. Oh yes, your main central hub that you're going to build a whole bunch of really good important structures in and have all sorts of convenient structures that you have like smelting and crafting and all of that sort of thing. What is the best location? Now I have two different villages here that are very good. I have this village here. There's another village down here that I haven't marked. And both of these are exceptional areas to build up your starting base. Now, specifically, right now during the summer, we have the Maypole and other summer festival midsummer items enabled. So you can place a Maypole wherever. I specifically really like to place Maypoles in villages by the water. And the villages are naturally attached to a field. And I want both of these things to be relatively close to Black Forest. So you have Black Forest down here, close to the water, and of course 800 meters or more away from spawn, because that is where you have a 1% chance of starred boar to spawn. And taming and breeding 2-star boar is just really good for sausages and whatnot in the future. Of course the leather is also really good. Now of course I have Black Forest just over there. It's really close, and I can sail out, get really easy Bronze Age carve shenanigans for gathering up all of the copper and tin, and then eventually getting swamps and black metal, silver, all of that good stuff really easily with a long ship. Being able to cart all of that into the main base and then smelt it and store it super easily is very convenient. I do have a tiny house just to start off with, just because it's all very nice and compact, and I can move everything should I need to. All of this stuff giving me decent amount of comfort is very nice. Now I want to show you the secondary village, and I want to kind of go over the reason why I currently have everything over at the first area that I just showed you rather than this upcoming place. So I am going to keep most of my stuff over there, but aesthetically I absolutely prefer this building coming up in this area. It is just gorgeous, and I will have the seed linked down below. It is one of my favorite seeds. I did a video on it. When Hilda's Quest comes eventually, right now it's in public testing and the devs are on vacation for July. When it eventually comes sometime after July and August, I'm sure, we will have a bunch of changes to the world viewer and to seed generation in general. Once the world viewer properly catches up, I will be making a bunch of seed videos. And you can see already we see the village there. There is a natural maypole in it, so you don't have to worry about placing one, although again this is going to change. And you might already be able to see why I love this village so much. It is right in the Black Forest, partially. There's a burial chamber right nearby. I mean, this skeleton is already attacking something. I love that. That skeleton is super nice just to be able to get bones. It's a 1-star, so I'll be able to get 2 bones. Love that. Bones are really good to upgrade your club early, to make and upgrade your stag breaker, or not to make, but just to upgrade your stag breaker. And then bone bolts in the late game is really good to have, so you can have as many bolts as you want. Being able to use them to make bone bolts for your arbalest is going to be really strong, especially once you really get the arbalest or crossbow levels rather. That is exceptional. So having a base like this, Maypole Village, that's like right practically in the Black Forest, is super good. Getting those early bones there is nice. The main problem, of course, is trolls. Trolls are nasty, and particularly the log trolls are filthy. So they'll come wandering out of the ether, just basically spawned in out of random, and they can do a number on your base, even through base walls, so you have to set up a double layer walls. Now I always like to set up double layer walls anyway if I can help it, especially in a co-op run. Sometimes I'll leave my walls bare or single layer as long as I can, just to have aesthetic and for convenience of building, so that I can really build up all the structures that I want and get a good idea of how big my base is going to be before I properly set up walls. But in this case, you would want to set up double layer walls as soon as possible for any trolls or even starred trolls that would randomly spawn in. That would just be a real nasty surprise to your base, and you especially want to keep your maypole alive if you aren't in the midsummer season, just so that you can maintain that +1 extra comfort. That is the reason why we've decided to take a look at this area in particular. Now, of course, I said close to Black Forest, or in this case inside it. That's really good for your early Bronze Age shenanigans. You can just do a lot of carting instead of sailing. Of course, you have raspberries here in this village, which is incredible, just like the last one. And this stone structure here, which is really, really cool for building up in. I love this. This is just going to be really nice for setting up a variety of structures. Now, do be careful, be very careful about your mini-map. You see how we're technically in the meadows here? That's exactly what you want. So having these border generations and poise generate in the meadows like this is exceptional, because once you're in the Black Forest, you can start getting some nasty raids. Specifically, once you've killed Yag, it enables they sought you out in the Black Forest. Doesn't happen in the meadows anymore for some reason. I think people just complained about it, which, I don't really get. You just learn to fight the Seekers. They aren't particularly hard. They're very linear, and you can exploit that by flanking them. Just getting that movement around to the side and flanking them. At which point, it's a lot of Carapace and Seeker meat on your doorstep, and I love that. Now you see here how I only have a couple of steps into the Black Forest. That is the only spot where this is going to happen. And so these steps, this back deck here, I can totally wall off if I wanted to. Of course, having all this stone here that I want to protect in the days that I don't have a stone cutter and I can't repair all of this, I'm really going to reinforce this with walls on the outside, and that's where my double layer is going to begin, just out beyond here like this. And so I'll extend all the way around here, all the way here, just beyond the raspberries here, and then continuing all the way around. Of course, we're still close enough to the water where this will just be a very, very convenient sailing trip. Just sailing back here, set up a cute little bridge over this little creek here, and then make a cart trip back and forth. Should be very easy because the terraforming is very minimal. This land is already super smooth, and even though you can only terraform +8 or -8 meters from the height map currently, it is still much, much, much greater than what we need to do here to make this work. And yeah, this view already, I haven't done anything to this village. This view is exceptional. Oh yes, I love this. I love seeing that stone structure. Every sort of Black Forest, I almost said Mistlands, every Black Forest POI has a sort of blue fog around it, or blue mist. You can kind of see right now, let's just put the text here, there's a little bit of blue in the entrance of this building, and there's a little bit of blue. Let's see if I can back it up and really see. There's a tiny bit of blue around that building here. It's very faint, but there's some blue there. And that's because that's technically in the Black Forest, and it is a structure. So any sort of structure, barrel chamber, tower, whatnot, in the distance will have that blue mist around it, and that'll be really easy to spot in the future. So it'll be really good to spot these objects or poise in the future. What's especially nice is that we have 3 burial chambers right here. So that's really easy to get early bones, but also really, really easy to get early cores, Surtling cores and coins and all of that. Now do note this right here. This early copper is just really good RNG. Look at how close it is to the village. I mean, that is remarkable. That is such an easy cart trip. You don't even need to use a cart trip. You can set up a bunch of smelters right around here and just absolutely go to town. And yeah, just haul it by hand, you know, whatever carry weight you have personally. It's just absurdly convenient. Do watch out about this Black Forest here. I would have my first layer of walls inside the Black Forest radius, just so that I manage to stay inside the meadows and I don't trigger any nasty raids like they sought you out. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, which one would you choose? Both of these are valid options. You have a larger field here, so you can snipe a lot more creatures and have a lot more chance to get your 2-star boar spawned, but you have a higher risk in Black Forest mobs taking them out. Specifically Grey Dwarf Shamans with their AoE able to fire off through buildings. Yeah, pretty nasty chances for them to take you out. Of course, it just takes a little bit more extra work in walls early and double layering your walls in order to make sure that your tames and your crops and creatures and your more important base structures like your maypoles are safe. Are you willing to do that extra work? Or do you just want a safe, convenient spot, in which case the first village is just the way to go? Let me know what you think. There's no wrong answer here. Like I said earlier, they all have that amazing quality of being relatively close to Black Forest, in this case really close. Close to water. In the other village it's a little bit closer to water, but this one is still fine. And then they are attached to a raspberry village with a maypole, a lot of raspberries and creatures to snipe. Very, very nice. Geographically incredible. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I really want to go snipe a bunch of necks because the necktails I've been eating more and more. Hey, look at this fish. Really splendid. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.